What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. So last night there was a post on the league boards, kind of like Riot's version of Reddit, I guess, like talking about some KOG'MAW changes coming in 6.19. Now, I don't think I've ever made a video about just one of these changes. Normally I save them up and I group them together, but this is ridiculous. I have never seen Riot revert a rework like this. Now, I'll link the post if you want to read it yourself, but let's go over it. And I'm guessing most of you just want to know what's going to happen, so let's get into that first, then the why and what it means after. So really, his W is going back to how it used to be. These are going to be what they're removing, so it's not going to break the attack speed cap anymore. You won't be attacking super fast. You won't apply only half damage from your AD anymore, and you won't get increased attack speed from items anymore. Basically, it will now just be like the old W, which, if you can't remember, is just where you press W, you gain more range, percentage health damage, and you won't attack super fast anymore. It is a pretty big change, and build wise it's going to be completely different. They've also said that they aren't going to change how his new ultimate works, so keeping that the same. We can, however, expect some more changes from his other spells to compensate, so kind of like, I guess, Q and E buffs most likely. Now, some people are going to be super happy about this, some are going to be super sad, but the funniest thing for me personally is basically all this rework actually did, all it achieved, was kill AP KOG'MAW. AP KOG'MAW, so like KOG in the mid lane, used to be quite popular and it was a lot of fun, but the new ultimate changes make it so much harder to play. Basically, it scales with missing health, so poking them at full health does barely anything. Now, that's the one part of the new KOG'MAW that actually going to keep. So yeah, normal AD carry KOG'MAW we used to know is back, but the AP version that we used to be played won't be. The old KOG'MAW actually wasn't bad at all, anything like that. Like, he had his place, it was kind of risky, I guess, as a late game champion. His damage was not as high as it is now, but you could kite like a normal AD carry, which kind of made up for it. Now, this one might be a bit controversial, let me know if you agree with this or not, but I actually think this might be to do with how good scripts are for KOG'MAW after the rework, and those who want to cheat are just way too good at it. Hardly anyone can attack, move, or kite on the new KOG'MAW, but if you're scripting and you're cheating, you're using a third-party program, then you can, and that made him like 100% broken for them. Riot have said one of the main reasons for this revert is because they want to keep him moving in a fight to kite, and so opponents can't just run away and stay out of range. I do kind of agree that was like an issue, but that to me just screams scripts were so good on him. We built a champ designed to be abused by scripts, let's change it back quick. Who knows, honestly, but I thought that was pretty funny when I read it, so I kind of wanted to share my thought on that, I guess. Now, I just want to take an actual look at this and what they said too, so you know a bit more about why, what to expect, and also the build paths that are probably going to be coming back for him. So in Riot's eyes, KOG'MAW is an AD who you should really rely on to do most of your team's damage, as long as you can protect him and you can kind of enhance him or buff him. That's what KOG is, I think, anyway, in both versions of him so far, like the older version and the new version. The important bit though here really is they want him to be a late game carry, now slowly ramping up during the game to a point where it becomes unstoppable late game. Right now, after the rework, the items and masteries that he uses, basically like just on hit stuff, meant that his early to mid phase was actually pretty solid, and really he only needed like 2 items to jump up in power. That's not a late game carry. On hit stuff is actually a weird stat for an AD. Basically, like, it has a base value that doesn't scale, so like 40 on hit from Wit's End, for example, that's 40 damage early and 40 late game, if that makes sense. Further is an example where it actually does scale with levels, but it's still very strong at 8 stacks even early, and KOG'MAW could get to those 8 stacks very fast. By the way, for example, at level 12 you could be doing a bonus 75 damage per auto just from Fervor. Like, when you attack as fast as KOG'MAW does right now, that adds up to a ton. So you stack up on these on hit effects, right? KOG'MAW applies them fully with his W when he's attacking very fast, and suddenly you have kind of all of this flat damage adding together to do a ton early into the game. I think that's really where the mess up happened, actually, more than anything else, if I'm honest. You do like half your AD when your W is active, right? So you cannot build crit. On hit effects are the only kind of damage source that doesn't really build from the AD or from your auto attack, I guess, so he was always going to build that and stack them. It's a surprise, honestly, that Riot didn't expect that to happen, really. But yeah, so they don't like his power curve in game, too strong too early, and don't like how he can't move anymore. Considering KOG before the rework was already strong and had like a good identity, I think he called it like pretty unique and known for being this late game monster, they're going to just revert him back to that, and I assume work from that base again rather than changing how he is now. They've actually said in the post they think his pre-rework kit is actually successful and it fit what they wanted KOG to do and be known for, which makes me kind of wonder, why would you rework him in the first place then? This is very odd though. I don't think I've ever seen a rework fully reverted back before, and it'll be interesting to see him back and how he copes now in season 6 or moving into season 7, which kind of brings us to the items. Build wise, I'm going to be expecting a lot of different things to come through again now. Runins, in my opinion, will still be core. It still applies Fervor and his W damage to 3 targets, which is completely OP. Triforce as well is even better than it used to be on KOG'MAW. Attack speed and CDR now, so you attack more with your W and the faster cooldown. Sheen and Phage, by the way, are just so good with him. Blade Blade the Ruin King, just even more percentage damage, attack speed, and kite with the active. Phantom Dancer, similar kind of thing, but crit is viable again. You got like no reduced AD from autos. Plus with PD, you get a lot of attack speed, right? More W damage, and also the move speed and the damage reduction. Witsend could still be good on him, to be honest, as well. Heavy attack speed with on hit might still be relevant, but not quite as strong right now. It's going to depend a little bit on the Rage Blade. That is what would make an on hit build work, so it could still have his place here. As we said before, crit would actually be viable again now, so going like a double attack speed crit build would be decent on him, a lot like Jinx or Tristana or something like that. Runins, Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, Bloodthirst, so your W percentage damage combined with the crits is actually disgusting. That is a ton of damage flying around. Now, in my opinion, I would expect the Triforce build to pop off as soon as this revert happens. That is the one I think is going to be the best build. Probably Triforce into Blade the Ruin King. Then maybe into like a Runins, Phantom Dancer, heavy attack speed still, but the utility aspects too, which will kind of keep you alive or provide damage from other sources than just your W. Yes, you will do loads of damage with this build. I'm suggesting like Sheen, attack speed, plus that kind of relatively tanky as well, though lifesteal and speed up to kite. That's a pretty nasty combo, and that was what we saw a lot before the update. I think this is actually just even better for him now. Now after the Triforce change, I think it'll just be so good. So even after the changes, I actually expect KOG'MAW to still be really strong, and maybe even stronger with this kind of bruisery build with like a Triforce, maybe a Frozen Mallet and a Blade the Ruin King or something like that. That about wraps up my thoughts on this whole thing though, but let me know what you guys think. Good thing, bad thing, either way. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.